All right, so to kick it off, can you please give me a 1 minute summary of your organization or your business or the type of work that you do?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Pauline Dougald, and I'm the founder of Art Diversion, and that is a brand new company that I have started, and it is all focused around how to create diversion with art. It is something that has been a result of a number of years of working with flow science and coaching methodologies, and it's something that came about as a creative effort to bring more art into the lives of everyday people and sort of disrupt their patterns through the creative endeavors. And so that methodology that I'm developing and working on is focused on how to get people in flow, how to make them create something so that they can disconnect from the critical thinker for a moment and access those deep insights that can only come from within us when we are doing some kind of very enjoyable activity. So that is what I'm working on right now for the most part. And of course, it's going to evolve further. But at the moment, this is it. Then, and the people I work with, everyday normal people who are interested in their development, they don't need to think that they are an artist. They don't even need to know how to hold a paintbrush because creativity exists within all of us. And so it's my goal to show people that anybody can create art and anybody can use art in order to help them to move further in their development.
I love that mission so much. So awesome. And what problem were you trying to solve when you enrolled in Flourish?
Yes, my problem was the lack of cohesion in business. My business has been evolving for the last 2, 3 years, and it started in one place and it has ended up being by a different place in 2 years' time. But there was no real harmony between the elements. So my problem was is that I didn't have clarity of how to make it more whole. The wholeness was the missing part. So that was the biggest concern, the biggest challenge that I was solving.
And what led you to look for a better way for this specific problem that you were facing?
Well, I haven't stopped looking for solutions in the 2, 3 years time. There's constantly been reiterations, constant pivots, constant learning. So this was another learning in a many aspects.
How long were you searching for a solution before you found the future of flourishing and Flourish in particular?
I have been working for about 3 years now on my business and constantly searching for solution to make it work. So it's been quite some time. So yeah, about 3 years.
And why did you choose to participate in Flourish in particular?
So this one goes back to 2020, and the main reason for me, of course, and that's my personal perception, and that was the presence of Sarah Goodrich in the program, because I am very much aligned with her presentation, her way of presenting information, and just way of being. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I met her first through the Flow Research Collective in 2020, and consistently I was also in Alive 45, and it was a very easy movement from one program to another because her presence always provided new insights that I could really interpret and use in my own life. So that was the main reason.
And why did you choose to participate in Flourish as opposed to an alternative course or program that you could say could potentially be a competitor of sorts?
There was never really a question between this and something else. There was no alternatives I was looking for. There was nothing that really was a diversion between A or B to solve the problem. It was more so of a perfect timing and opportunity that presented itself that felt right to pursue.
How has your experience been like participating in Flourish?
It's been a great experience. I loved every session as much as I could participate. It was done very well. It was structured in a way that was both informative and participative as well. There was a lot of opportunity for further development, understanding. There was extra material, and it was done in the weekly succession, which made it easy to move from one thing to the next without forgetting the content of the previous lesson.
And what specific results have you personally achieved so far from Flourish?
So the main result that I have achieved was the new way of looking at the flow cycle and the flow science combined with psychological aspects, combined with the new insights that I got about archetypal forces that play a part and play a role in the process. And just the way that it was structured really put the last kind of puzzle piece into my mind because of what I already knew, something that I was working since the beginning of the year, and this was the final addition that made everything make sense.
Would you say that you're happy with the results so far? And did Flourish meet your expectations?
Oh, absolutely. It was absolutely amazing and definitely happy with the new insights and new revelations, new understandings. It was great.
Can you think of a single word or a phrase that summarizes your experience participating in Flourish and why that word or phrase in particular?
The word that comes to mind is expansion. And why? Because the more I learn, the more I integrate, and the more I can be of who I am authentically. So every new bit of information that I receive and I am able to process and integrate allows me to create better. And that is expansion of the mind, expansion of the spirit, and overall growth.
I love that. And in your opinion, what would you say is the main point of difference or differentiating factor between Flourish and other well-being or personal development programs out on the market?
Yes, it's a good question. And Flourish combines in a very gentle way the science of flow and also the aspects of our psychology that are so integral to ourselves. It's just it's a wholesome way at looking at something without overemphasizing the science, without making it too dry. It puts a focus on the person and in a way their development, and everything else becomes a supportive factor. So the science becomes supportive, the exercises for personal discovery becomes an extra tools that can be added, but the person remains the main focal point.
Awesome. And if somebody were to call you and ask why they should enroll in Flourish, what would you tell them?
Well, if they want to flourish, they got to enroll in Flourish. It's pretty easy. So, but in other words, if somebody wants to know themselves deeper and have better tools and strategy of how to deal with the world, this would be the excellent program to utilize for that development. And it doesn't matter where the person is in their own individual development cycle; they can start at wherever they are. The program is designed to carry them through in their own individual way by providing the posts and signposts and guides so that they can go at their own pace and end up where they meant to end up, but in a different, more evolved way.
I love that. And do you think that the investment in Flourish was worthwhile and why?
Oh, absolutely. That's nothing even to worry about compared to other program. Investment in Flourish is by far uncomparable. It's excellent. Anybody can do that.
What did you love the most about your Flourish experience?
Yes, what I loved the most was the group interactions of the like-minded people because of how everybody was on the same page and the ability to think along the same lines provided the safe container. And of course, the leaders who were creating those calls brought their own energy as well. But the group calls were feeling like home for a moment. It was the best part.
Oh, well, that's so sweet, and I'm glad that it felt that way for you. It definitely did for us as well on the team. And to wrap it up, what challenges do you see on the horizon for others experiencing the same problem? And how do you see Flourish helping with that?
Yes, the main challenges I see for all business owners is to creating the business from the place of authenticity rather than trying to fit the mold. And that's the biggest challenge that I see as I have experienced myself and as others are going forth. you can either try to make something that you think others will like and others will pay money for, or you can go within and discover what motivates you on a deeper level and then try to express that through the medium of business. And that has a lot more long-term longevity versus trying to fit an existing mold. And so that is the key problem and challenge I see out there in the world. And the Flourishing program allows for the person to connect better with themselves so they can know themselves better so that they can create more authentically.
Wonderful. I love how you articulated that. That was so beautiful and so, so relevant, especially when it comes to, yeah, just external expectations, conditioning. So being able to break free from that mold, it truly, truly is a wonderful thing.